I was looking for the messengers of love in the commentary and I cannot find it. Our last reading was through paragraph 10 here, and now our next reading pushes us to B, day 239. Day 238 skips that part, and then day 239 starts on B. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the messengers of love. Hopefully commentary will be added, but if not, that's okay too. And I will just read it. The messengers of love. The attraction of guilt produces fear of love, for love would never look on guilt at all. It is the nature of love to look upon only the truth, for there it sees itself, with which it would unite in holy union and completion. As love must look past fear, so must fear see love not, for love contains the end of guilt, as surely as fear depends on it. Love is attracted only to love. Overlooking guilt completely, it sees no fear. Being wholly without attack, it could not be afraid. Fear is attracted to what love sees not, and each believes that what the other looks upon does not exist. Fear looks on guilt with just the same devotion that love looks on itself, and each has messengers which it sends forth, and which return to it with messages written in the language in which their going forth was asked. Love's messengers are gently sent and return with messages of love and gentleness. The messengers of fear are harshly ordered to seek out guilt and cherish every scrape of evil and sin that they can find, losing none of them on pain of death, and laying them respectfully before their Lord and Master. Perception cannot obey two masters, each asking for messages of different things in different languages. We'll go down and read footnote 26, Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon. In this reference, the two masters are love and fear. What fear would feed upon, love overlooks. What fear demands, love cannot even see. The fierce attraction that guilt holds for fear is wholly absent from love's gentle perception. What love would look upon is meaningless to fear and quite invisible. Relationships in this world are the result of how the world is seen, and this depends on which emotion was called on to send its messengers to look upon it and to return with word of what they saw. Fear's messengers are trained through terror, and they tremble when their master calls upon them to serve him. For fear is merciless even to its friends. Its messengers steal guiltily away in hungry search of guilt, for they are kept cold and starving and made very vicious by their master, who allows them to feast only upon what they return to him. Footnote 27, the image here is of particularly vicious hunting dogs who have been trained by a sadistic master. Their hunting for sin and guilt symbolizes our habits of selective perception, in which we perceptually hunt for evidence of sin and guilt in the world. No little shred of guilt escapes their hungry eyes, and in their savage search for sin, they pounce on any living thing they see and carry it screaming to their master to be devoured. Send not these savage messengers into the world to feast upon. to feast upon it and to prey upon reality. For they will bring you word of bones and skin with flesh. They have been taught to seek for the corruptible and to return with gorges filled with things decayed and rotting. To them, such things are beautiful because they seem to ally their savage pangs of hunger. For they are frantic with the pain of fear and would avert the punishment of him who sends them forth by offering him what they hold dear. The Holy Spirit has given you love's messengers to send instead of those you train through fear. They are as eager to return to you what they hold dear as are the others. If you send them forth, they will see only the blameless, I can't speak tonight. They will see only the blameless and the beautiful and gentle and the kind. They will be as careful to let no little act of charity, no tiny expression of forgiveness, no little breath of love escape their notice. And they will return with all the happy things they found, to share them lovingly with you. Be not afraid of them. They offer you salvation. Theirs are the messages of safety, for they see the world as kind. If you send forth only the messengers the Holy Spirit gave you, wanting no messages but theirs, you will see fear no more. The world will be transformed before your sight, cleansed of all guilt, and softly brushed with beauty. The world contains no fear that you laid not upon it, and none you cannot ask love's messengers to remove from it and see it still. We'll go down and read footnote 28, pronoun clarification, and none, no fear. You cannot ask love's messengers to remove from the world and see the fear still. The Holy Spirit has given you his messengers to send each other and return to each with what love sees. They have been given to replace the hungry dogs of fear you sent instead, and they go forth to signify the end of fear. Love, too, would set a feast before you on a table covered with a spotless cloth, set in a quiet garden where no sound but dog snoring, where no sound but singing and a softly joyous whispering is ever heard. This is the feast which honors your holy relationship and at which everyone is welcomed as an honored guest. And in a holy instant, grace is said by everyone together as they join in gentleness before the table of communion. And I will join you there, as long ago I promised and promise still. For in your new relationship am I made welcome, and where I am made welcome, there I am. Let's read footnote 29, Matthew 18:20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. And I'm going to pause there. I'm not going to continue reading because I'm hoping that they will do the commentary for this section and I can sort of, have a separate video of that commentary. And then I will read 239 separately. So this is like let's think of this as a 238B. We already did 238 part 1 and this is 238 part 2. And then there'll be a 238 part 3 if they do release any commentary on this section. And I'm going to read that last paragraph because it's beautiful. Love, too, would set a feast before you on a table covered with a spotless cloth, set in a garden where no sound but singing and softly joyous whispering is ever heard. This is the feast which honors your holy relationship and at which everyone is welcomed as an honored guest. And in a holy instant, grace is said by everyone together as they join in gentleness before the table of communion. And I will join you there, as long ago I promised and promise still. For in your new relationship I am made welcome, and where I am made welcome, there I am. Thank you for joining with me. And this is chapter 19, From Sin to Peace, section 4, The Obstacles to Peace. And this is the Messengers of Love, paragraphs 11 through 18. I love you. Thank you.